Hello everyone, welcome to the online class. Myself Beryl Gifty Monisha, working as temporary assistant professor in Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. Through this video, we are going to learn about synchronized scan. Synchronized scan refers to the flag used in the transmission control protocol. A synchronized scan is also called a half-open scan because it doesn't complete the transmission control protocol three-way handshake. Synchronized scan is a cyber attack directed against a network connection. The attacker abuses the three-way handshake of transmission control protocol. Instead of negotiating a connection between a client and a server as intended, many half-open connections are created on the server. This ties up resources on the server that are then no longer available for actual use. Synchronized scan is a protocol attack which exploits the vulnerabilities in the network communication to make the server unavailable to legitimate requests. By consuming all the server's resources, this type of attack can bring down even high-capacity components capable of handling millions of connections. Hello everyone, welcome to the online class. Myself Beryl Gifty Monisha, working as temporary assistant professor in Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. Through this video, we are going to learn about synchronized scan. Synchronized scan refers to the flag used in transmission control protocol. The synchronized scan is also called a half-open scan because it doesn't complete the TCP three-way handshake. Synchronized scan is a cyber attack directed against a network connection. The attacker abuses the three-way handshake of the transmission control protocol. Instead of negotiating a connection between a client and a server as intended, many half-open connections are created on the server. This ties up resources on the server that are then no longer available for actual use. Synchronized scan is a protocol attack which exploits the vulnerabilities in the network communication to make the server unavailable to the request. By consuming all the server's resources, this type of attack can bring down even high-capacity components capable of handling millions of connections. When a TCP connection is established between two computers, TCP uses a three-way handshake mechanism to establish a connection between a client and a server. The handshake begins with a client sending a TCP packet with a synchronized flag set to the server. This packet is known as synchronized packet. The synchronized packet's purpose is to initiate a connection request and synchronize sequence numbers for reliable data transfer. When the server receives the synchronized packet, it sends back a synchronized acknowledgement packet. Hello everyone, welcome to the online class. Myself Beryl Gifty Monisha, working as temporary assistant professor in Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. Through this video, we are going to learn about synchronized scan. Synchronized refers to a flag used in the transmission control protocol. A synchronized scan is also called a half-open scan because it doesn't complete the TCP three-way handshake. Synchronized scan is a cyber attack directed against a network connection. The attacker abuses the three-way handshake of the transmission control protocol. Instead of negotiating a connection between a client and a server as intended, many half-open connections are created on the server. This ties up resources on the server that are then no longer available for actual use. Synchronized scan is a protocol attack which exploits the vulnerabilities in the network communication to make the server unavailable to legitimate requests. By consuming all the server's resources, this type of attack can bring down even high-capacity components capable of handling millions of connections. When a TCP connection is established between two computers, the sending computer sends a TCP reset packet to the receiving computer. The reset packet, the sending computer first checks whether the receiving computer is actually listening for the communication or not. If the receiving computer is not listening for the communication, then the computer sends TCP reset packet to the receiving computer. This TCP reset packet is normally sent when the receiving computer has not sent an acknowledgement for some time. If the receiving computer is actually listening for the communication, then the sending computer will not send a TCP reset packet to the receiving computer. Instead, the sending computer will send a TCP reset packet to the sending computer. But in TCP reset attack, the sending computer sends a TCP reset packet to the receiving computer. If a TCP reset attack is received back from the target, then it's assumed the port isn't active or is closed. When a client system wants to start a TCP connection, it sends the synchronized message as a request to the server. The advantage of the synchronized scan is that fewer intrusion detection systems log this as an attack or connection attempt. TCP uses a three-way handshake mechanism to establish a connection between a client and a server. The handshake begins with a client sending a TCP packet with a synchronized flag set to the server. This packet is known as a synchronized packet. Mainly, the handshake begins with the client sending a TCP packet with a synchronized flag to the server. This is known as synchronized packet. The synchronized packet purpose is to initiate a connection request and synchronize sequence numbers for reliable data transfer. When the server receives the synchronized packet, it sends back a synchronized acknowledgement packet indicating that it has received the client's request and is willing to establish a connection. The synchronized acknowledgement packet has both the synchronized and acknowledgement flag sets. Finally, the client acknowledges the server's response by sending an acknowledgement packet. This completes the three-way handshake and the TCP connection is established. Synchronized packets play a crucial role in cybersecurity because they are susceptible to a type of network attack called a synchronized flood attack. In a synchronized flood attack, an attacker floods a targeted server with a high volume of spoofed synchronized packets. the server's resources and preventing it from establishing legitimate connection with other clients. To defend against synchronized flood attacks, various security measures can be implemented, such as synchronized cookies, firewalls, and rate limiting techniques. These measures aim to detect and mitigate abnormal synchronized packet behavior to ensure the availability and stability of network services. In the synchronized attack, the hacker, pretending as a client, sends the TCP synchronized connection request at a higher rate than the victim machines can process. It is a kind of resource-exhausting distributed denial-of-service attack. The hackers can do the synchronized attack in three different ways. First one is direct synchronized flood attack, and second one is synchronized spoofed attack, and third one is distributed denial-of-service synchronized attack. In direct synchronized flood attack, in this method, the hacker initiates the attack using his own IP address. He sends multiple synchronized requests. He sends multiple synchronized requests to. However, when the server responds with synchronized acknowledgement as an acknowledgement, he doesn't respond with acknowledgement but keeps sending the new synchronized request to the server. While the server waits for acknowledgement, the arrival of synchronized packet preserves the server resources with a half-open connection session for a certain time, which eventually makes the server unable to operate normally and deny the request for the legitimate client. In this direct attack method, to ensure the synchronized acknowledgement packets are ignored, the hacker configures the firewall accordingly or restricts the traffic to outgoing synchronized requests. Since the hackers use their own IP address, the attackers are more vulnerable to detect, so this attack is rarely used. Next one, synchronized spoofed attack. As an alternative to avoid being detected, the malicious attack sends the synchronized packet from spoofed IP addresses. Upon receiving the synchronized request, the server sends the synchronized acknowledgement to the IP address and waits for a response. Since the spoofed source didn't send the packet, they do not respond. For this kind of synchronized flood attack, the attackers choose the IP addresses which are not in use, which ensures the system never responds back to the synchronized acknowledgement response. This is what synchronized spoof attack. Then third one, distributed denial of service attack. In this variant of synchronized attack, the server receives synchronized packets simultaneously from several infected computers under the control of the attacker. This combination of hijacked machines is called a botnet. Botnet is nothing but a group of internet-connected devices, each of which runs one or more bots. Botnets can be used to perform distributed denial of services attacks, steal data, send spam, and allow the attacker to access the device and its connection. Next, the signs of synchronize. First one is high network traffic and second one is unresponsive servers. Next, increased CPU usage, then network connectivity problems, and last one is increased error rates. First, high network traffic. In high network traffic, a sudden and sustained increase in network traffic can indicate a synchronized flood attack. as the attacker is sending a large number of synchronized packets to the target server. And next one, unresponsive servers. In responsive servers, a server that becomes unresponsive or slow to respond or to request is a potential indicator of a synchronized flood attack, as the server is being overwhelmed by incoming synchronized packets. And next one is increased CPU usage. High CPU usage on a server can indicate that the server is being overwhelmed by incoming synchronized packets, as the server is working to process the large number of incoming connections. And fourth one is network connectivity problems. In network connectivity problems, a server or network that becomes unavailable or experience connectivity problems is a potential indicator of a synchronized flood attack, as the server is being uh, overwhelmed by incoming synchronized packets and is unable to process incoming requests. And the last one is increased error rates. An increase in the number of errors or timeouts from a server can indicate a synchronized flood attack, as the server is being incoming synchronized packets and is unable to process incoming requests. So synchronized attacks are dangerous because they can cause a denial of service, rendering a target server or network unavailable to legitimate users. The attack causes the target to allocate resources for half-open connection that will never be completed. This can lead to a rapid consumption of resources such as memory, CPU, and network bandwidth, resulting in the target becoming unavailable. That's all about synchronized scans. Thank you for listening the lecture.